this pandemic. Breaking connections to the world. Empowering language on humanity. Let's bring the world of learning in one channel. Welcome to Visitors MHS English TV.
Hello Philippines! Good morning Nasibu and welcome to DCBS MNHS English TV Grade 9 edition. This is your teacher Asel at your service for this school year 2021-2022, welcoming you all in acquiring quality education despite the pandemic learning year. Good morning everyone! Let's learn together. Let's learn English. Welcome to English 9 Quarter 1, Week 1 and Week 2. Before we proceed in our lesson, let us have the objectives of our lesson for today. First, we have to identify the kinds of model and its function. Number 2, we are going to differentiate the different kinds of model in expressing permission, obligation, and prohibition. Number 3, we are going to compose clear and coherent sentence using model. And number 4, we have to create dialogues using models and convert nonlinear to linear information. Still, our lesson must be anchored in the most essential learning competencies based on the Department of Education. And for our lesson, our MEL is to express permission, obligation, and prohibition using models. For Lesson 1, dear Grade 9 learners, our first lesson is all about modal verbs. But before that, are you familiar with modal verbs? If that's so, how many modal verbs did you know? Okay, let us find out what is this modal verbs all about. But first, let us identify what a modals is. Modals are auxiliary or helping verbs. They may be used in expressing permission, obligation, and prohibition in a sentence or any speaking matters. Now, learners, you have seen the word auxiliary. Auxiliary means to help or provide, and it spells A-U-X-I-L-I-A-R-Y. So the next time you see the word auxiliary, you know the definition of the word. Now, what are the different kinds of modal verbs? From here, you have seen different kinds of modal verbs like can, could, ought to, should, will, must, would, shall, might, and may. But there are limited modal verbs that we are going to use for this lesson because modal verbs has its own function. These are the probable function of some modal verbs using permission. You are going to ask me, what is that permission all about? Permission is an act of giving consent or authorization. In stating permission, we are going to use modals like can, could, and may. Let us see the example of can. Can you give me your number? So with that, I am asking for your consent or authorization if you are going to give me your number. Another example. Can you be my friend? I am still asking permission if you want to be my friend. So can is still going to use if you are going to ask permission. Another example is could. Let us see the example. Another example for could. I could help you in your assignment in English. That I am going to give you consent if you are going to give me your assignment or help you in assignment in English. Another example. Could you lend me your book? I am asking you for permission if you are going to lend me your book. So could is the past tense of can. That is why I use could while it is in the past form. Number 3 is the modal verb may. Example, frontliners may claim their financial benefits. And another example, may I come in? These two examples are asking for permission. There you go, the examples of modal verb under permission. Hope you understand. Number 2 for modal verb prohibition. Now what is prohibition? Prohibition is the act of disallowing or prohibiting someone in performing or doing something. Modals showing prohibition include can't and must not or mustn't. Now from the word disallowing. From the prefix dis, it means you are not going to allow. Let us see the example. You can't go out during the community quarantine. From the word can't. You cannot go. That is disallowing. Another example. You must not turn off your camera during online class. Must not, prohibiting that you are not going to turn off your camera during your online class. There you go. Under prohibition, can't, must not, or mustn't. Number 3 for modal verbs, that is obligation. Obligation expresses commitment or duty. Modals used in expressing obligation include have to or has to and must. Let us see the example. I have to be in the airport before the flight departure. Can you see the word be? Why is being there? Be is also another form of verb. That is why it is being used. And you see that our main topic is I, which is always singular in form, but in function, it is always plural. That is why I have to use have. I have. Hoping you understand. Let us see the next example. She has to submit her report on time. Now, my perfect example is she. She is singular, that is why I have to use has as the modal verb. So, if there is a plural form, we have to use the plural verb. We have to use singular form if we have singular verb. Another, every student must wear their ID while inside school premises. Must created a strong emotion. So you have to use it as an example of a modal verb. I hope you understand, dear learners. Let us see if you can understand the discussions that we had. So for your learning task, we have to complete the dialogue by supplying phrases or modals plus verbs expressing permission, obligation, prohibition, whichever is necessary. Write your answer in one whole sheet of paper. So, the title of our scenario is Once Upon a Pandemic. There is no perfect time and age to becoming responsible and well-informed citizens. Anyone can be special in this time of crisis. Look at the dialogue, dear learners. Anna, I was not born with a golden spoon in my mouth. So, there is nothing I can do to survive the situation I am in at present. Andy, likewise, we both grew up and raised in love, faith, patience, and perseverance. We blank strong. Anna, I blank that we blank to keep going to survive this pandemic. Andy, our government and all of us blank complacent in trying time like this. Anna, though we have our government to support us during this critical time, we blank completely dependent on our government. Andy, yes, you said it right. We blank resourceful and frugal at times like this. Learners, you have seen the word frugal. What does it mean? It means to being thrifty or being economical. There you go, the definition of frugal. Anna, I blank that we blank planting vegetables in our own backyard or in any improvised plant bags. Andy, that's a good idea, Anna. We, as responsible citizens, blank also blanked our government surpassed this trying time. Anna, not only that, we blanked compliant to the rules directed by our government to get rid of this pandemic the soonest possible time. Andy, yeah, I got it right. Let's go check what we blank and blank while under ECQ. Anna, that is what we blank in times of crisis. We blank of this pandemic in no time at all if we will cooperate. Andy, come on friend, we blank the difference. Now, let us see from linear to non-linear text. For your learning task number 2, you are going to use the infographic from the World Health Organization, convert it into a dialogue between two members of a family using phrases or modals plus verbs, expressing permission, obligation, prohibition. You are going to write your answer in one whole sheet of paper. Now, I am going to ask you a question. How are you going to protect the oldies and the young ones from COVID virus infection? You are going to answer me that. Let me hear it from you. So, according to science, it tells us that we need to strengthen our immune system to make us healthy all the time. Immune system can be strengthened through vigorous exercises, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, drink 8 glasses of water, sleep at least 8 hours a day, and drink vitamins with zinc. And that's it. There you go. Learners, let us do some exercises now that you are going to write. So this is a writing skill. For your learning task number 3, you are going to get an article from a news or newspaper or journal or other online sources. Copy or paste it in one whole sheet of paper. Then, highlight each model used in the article. Then, identify if the highlighted models express permission, obligation, and prohibition. Good luck! There you go, my dear learners. So, for our generalization, again, let us see. Modals are auxiliary or helping verbs that they may be used in expressing permission, obligation, and prohibition in a sentence or sentences. And that the modal verbs used are includes can, may, could, can't, must not or mustn't, have or has to, and must. There you go. So I think I had given you all the information that you need regarding modal verbs. Now, let's see for our assessment. Directions. You're going to choose the modal that best complete its statement. Write the letters of your answers in your answer sheet. Number 1. There's a lot of distraction coming from passing vehicles. Blank, Lena closed the door. What do you think is the right answer? A. Must. B. Could. C. Would. D. Can. Reminder, dear learners, you are going to pronounce the word could and not cold, and would, not would. Congratulations! Now you know already the proper pronunciation of the word. Let us see. Number 2. Karen blank start investing now if she wants to retire soon. What do you think is the right answer? A. Can. B. May. C. Would. D. Have to. Number 3. Stanley blank come to the session but his presence would lighten the mood if he's there. What do you think is the right answer? A. Couldn't. B. Can't. C. Mustn't. D. Don't have. Dear learners, we are going to pronounce the word mustn't, not must not. Number 4. Serena can't get the connection on her gadget. Blank, she borrow yours? What do you think is the right answer? A. Have to. B. May. C. Can. D. Would. Number 5. kids' controlled room. Unauthorized persons blank come inside. Now what is the correct answer? A. Don't have to. B. Can't. C. Wouldn't. And D. Couldn't. Number 6. Jason blank be at the airport at least 2 hours before his flight. What do you think is the right answer? A. Has to. B. Can. C. May. D. Would. Number 7. The invitation says that you blank only bring 2 guests with you to the wedding. What do you think is the right answer? A. Have to. B. Can. C. May. D. Could. Number 8. Ethan blank stay overtime in the office today rather than going and working in the office this weekend. What do you think is the right answer there? A. Must. B. Have to. C. Could. D. Would. Number 9. I believe I blank finish this task before the deadline. What do you think is the right answer? A. May. B. Would. C. Could. D. Have to. Next, last but not the least, for number 10. Considering the event's formality, the winners blank wear their formal attire for the awarding. What do you think is the right answer? A. Could. B. Must. C. Can. D. Would. Dear learners, you had seen the word there. You have to pronounce it there, not there. Okay, the next time you see this word, you're going to pronounce it right. Good luck on your journey for grade 9 learnings. On addition, for your exercises, dear learners, you are going to reflect on what you have learned on this lesson about listening by completing the statements below. You are going to answer this. I realize that. So what are those realizations that you had for our lesson? Number 2, I need to learn more about our lesson. And number 3, I still need the help of my teacher and of course, your teachers in English are always there for you to answer all the queries. Good luck, dear learners! There you go, grade 9 learners! Congratulations on our first lesson. Thank you for listening and happy learning! See you on our next learning session. Stay safe, everyone! More of your English teachers coming. Thank you! Bye!